A very good evening. You're listening to my station, your station, ZiFM Stereo. Thank you very much to Danny, that guy, for uh, giving us all this information on technology and where everything is going. Thank you so much. Good job, Dan. And thank you so much to the sports team as well for keeping us updated on what's going on in the world of sports. My name is Patience Musa. Our time at exactly 7:30, and here on ZFM Stereo on a Tuesday like this, we get into everything to do with the arts. My name is Patience Musa, and I hope this evening you're feeling inspired and open to creativity because I have something special lined up for you. So, joining me for today's show, I have JT, better known as Designer JT, born and raised in Zimbabwe, our very own. This is not the first time I've had him on this show. I think we had a chat earlier on in the year, and but so much has been happening in his world, so much that we had to find him just to catch up. So for those that do not know, Designer JT has a brand called SOG Clothing, and it's known primarily for bold African prints, bespoke tailoring, and street ready elegance. And you've probably seen his designs, you just didn't know because he's been dressing superstars like Jar Praiser, Winky D. Not, I can't even get into the whole list. It is a very, very, very long list. JT, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Patience.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Ah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm enjoying the rains. I don't, I can at least say that. I'm enjoying the rains. How's business going?
Business has been awesome. I can't complain. God has been blessing.
Great.
Mm.
So for those who have any questions at all for Designer JT, send them through to our WhatsApp 0772168045. That's our WhatsApp. Nyasha Tota, how are you doing this evening? Thank you very much for my very, very first message. I'm hoping that you're well. You and I were hanging out on Sunday, right? So it hasn't been that long. So JT, let's talk about the beginning because I know, we like to hear the entire story. Not everybody, knows your entire story. Can you tell us more about how your journey with design started? What motivated you to pursue fashion? Um, yeah, when there's
All right.
so many other things to do, especially for a young man like you.
Okay. Uh, I think I'll touch on the last part about having so many things to do for a young man like me. Uh, my dad wanted me to be a chartered accountant.
Oh,
I
nice.
was one of the brightest students in high school, like from primary school all the way up. And I had 13 points doing pure economics. So my dad wanted me to go straight into accounting and whatnot.
How's he feeling now?
Um,
How is this man?
he was quite disappointed, but
Eventually.
eventually he got to see that because his wife, my mom, was the designer in our family.
Ah.
So I used to wear designer clothes made by my mom, even my school uniform. Back then, it was because we couldn't afford to go into the shops and buy school uniforms ready made and whatnot. So my mom used her skills to do school uniforms for us. But for me, I saw them as unique and different from the rest because the rest of the kids wore school uniforms tailored for a specific size, which is not themselves exactly. So some of them were
And you wore
big
you
waist
wore uniforms tailored
for
to
myself
fit
to
you.
fit me. So I would
Yeah,
look
I feel
nicer
you.
than the other kids in the same uniform, although it could have been maybe a different shade of the fabric, whatnot, but I looked nicer. So I fell in love with tailor-made clothes since that time, and uh,
Is that where your story begins?
yes,
Because I know my mom used to sew as well, and I used to grab small pieces of cloth, and but I just used to sew for my Barbie.
but my I was different though. I didn't care about sewing or anything. I was not that guy. I focused on being a chartered accountant, like my dad wanted me to be.
Mm.
So I never intended to do fashion and fabrics at school. In school, I was just a
So when did things change
sciences
then?
guy.
So what happened?
When she passed on, like in 2009, I got to a point where I was like, but she introduced me to the other tailors that would do my uniforms when she was tied up or when she was not feeling well. So let me just go ahead and keep on doing that because I now know what I want and how I want to look. So let me just keep doing that. Although my dad wanted to, by that time, he was now able to just buy stuff for me in the shops and whatnot. But I continued to say, no, give me the money. Let me go back to my tailors and get the uniforms done. So I continued to wear, we called them bootlegs, the trousers, the bootleg trousers with turn-ups, and I would put different buttons on my school shirts and match them with my watch
Didn't
and
you
my
get into
pants.
trouble for that?
Actually, I was one of the I was awarded one of the smartest students
No
in school.
way.
Number one, number two, I ended up being a senior prefect at Segawan High School, where I did my A level, and I would wear my uniform. I had a cream blazer and black trousers, white shirt, but
So you were pimping your
I
school.
was pimping my school uniform, and but it still looked nice. It was not legal, but the teachers were like, but there's nothing wrong with
So
what
it's
you.
clean and
It's
it's
clean, it's
smarter than
nice.
everybody else.
So let's just
And yakatengwa in a store.
yes. And my shoes were always shining, by the way. So I was someone who just loved to look nice and look good. So when that stuck into my veins, I then later on when I was working, when I finished school, I just looked for a job. I tricked my dad that I was going to uni in August because I was supposed to start early in the year. Then I said, no, I'll do uni later on because by that time I was staying with my stepmother. So it things weren't so rosy. You, the situation wasn't so rosy.
No, I
So
understand.
I just decided no, I shouldn't be focusing on. If I take this road, I might not be able to finish uni and I'll be stuck. So let me look for a job. Maybe later on I'll be able to fund uni for myself and pursue whatever degree I want to pursue and go forward with it. So look for a job. By the grace of God, I got it without the relevant qualifications, without even having to be interviewed by the HR or anything. I actually started working for a big company that time, and when I earned my first salary, I got my clothes, bought some furniture for myself, and I started wearing formal wear at work. Then I got promoted. I was one commented by the CEO of that company that I was one of the smartest employees, like at the whole company, which had over 500 employees countrywide because it was a big company. So later on, I started to keep on getting suits, and I got promoted to start working. I was a sales rep in the beginning, so I started working in the shop in Joiner City. Started wearing suits all the time, and then I started getting my suits, my formal wear tailored. So I went back to look for
To what
tailors.
you wanted.
Yes. And then that's when I was like, people actually like how I look, so why can't I just start a clothing line? Because I was also doing music that time. So I also had friends that I was doing Christian hip hop with. So I formed a group which we called SOG Click, meaning Saints of God Click. So that's where the SOG name comes from. And then I started getting t-shirts printed with my name on it at the back and my other guys' names there. Then I went on TV for interviews about my music, but people were more interested in what I was putting on. So I ended up getting clients.
It's a reminder, a constant reminder that, dude, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be doing. Why were you fighting it for so long?
Yeah, I didn't know, but I got to find out later on. And then I opened a Facebook page, started advertising designs. That's when African print was popping the most that time. I think that's back in 2015, 14, 15, somewhere there. Then I started doing bespoke African prints designs that I would wear on Zimi Pop Report on national television, and people would start to order because I would give out my phone number, and they would start to say, I want that, I want what you're wearing, can I get it in a different print? Can I? So I ended up having a side hustle of doing clothes for people, and I had tailors that would do that for me. But at that time, I was not really so into it. It was a side hustle, like I said. And later on, back in 2017, I managed to start the clothing line officially and stopped working for that company, and then went to open a workshop where I still am right now. I opened the workshop, but I was still in a very small corner, very small space, and I just put my cards in one basket and said, okay, fine, this is what I'm doing. If it fails, it fails.
So, what can you walk me through your creative process? How do you go from concept, say a sketch of an idea, to the finished piece?
Okay. Also, one of my talents is to sketch. I was one of the first people to be picked in school to draw a diagram on to draw a locust or a bee or
JT
on the board. Like,
Oh no!
because I could draw
Oh no no no!
a person.
I understand. I
Yeah.
understand because if when you remember when I think back, primary school and high school, there was always that person I shared with who, yo,
Yeah,
draw a
yo,
map,
draw a map,
yeah, the
yes.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
one of
Africa
those
cannot
people.
hear Zimbabwe
There
per
were two
board.
people who could do that in our class.
So
I
you
was
were
one
drawing
of
the
them.
locust. So you weren't even
Yes.
doing the easy
I
things
wasn't
like
doing the easy
like
things.
Mepi
Yes.
Zimbabwe. You were
Yeah, the locusts and the funny, complicated diagrams. I would take my time and get it like in a very large scale on the board, and people were like, wow. And I would also draw people on plain papers with a pencil, and so I ended up sketching designs. When I saw the need for people for my designs, I then started sketching designs, thinking outside the box, trying to spice up what I already had at that time, and then designs started coming, and then I started getting them done, and people would come with theirs. But the
okay.
people I was working with that time, sometimes they would fail to replicate what the client wanted or what I wanted personally. So I ended up now wanting to learn.
How
Then,
to actually.
and I learned from them slowly but surely. And
So you can
some of
do
them,
everything now, cutting
yes,
patterns.
yes. I'm actually
And
very, very good at it.
sewing and everything.
So basically, the celebrities that I've done for, like all of them, none of them wears something that was done by someone else with my name on it. I did that
Wow.
personally, from the cutting to the people that would have helped me. They would have helped me to do maybe for the dancers, or to
Oh,
do
okay, for everybody else.
for the rest of the people, or to just
Finish up.
finish up, like ironing, just
Buttons,
and the
zippers
like.
and
Yes.
stuff.
But the whole cutting, the whole designing, cutting, and really the nitty gritties of everything, I would do that by myself, because I wanted to really see my potential. I always think that I'm not, I haven't reached my full potential. So every single task I get from a client whose piece is delicate, I give it my best and try, even if I've done it before, I try to surpass the level that I did it last time, because I know I still can do better than what I do now. That's what I believe. And I'm actually better than the people who used to tailor for me. I'm not
Were
bragging,
you
but I'm just
talking
being
so much?
honest.
Were you talking so much the first time when you came here? Okay. If you're just tuning in, we are my station, your station, ZFM Stereo, and in the studio with me, I have our very own designer JT in the studio. If you have any questions for him, send them through to our WhatsApp 0772168045. For those who are asking for details, he will be giving those out. Before we conclude this chat. Now, your brand, SOG Clothing, is known for bold African prints, tailored pieces, and I've seen online also that you're doing, bridal pieces, the Rora squads, and all of them, and the bride's attire as well. How would you define the design language of SOG? What makes it uniquely designer JT?
Okay. I think the main thing that I can point out is, um, this is a fact. This is not. It's a fact, and you can ask everyone who's in the industry, the fashion industry. There are a very very few designers in the country or in the world that can do everything. I'm one of them. By everything, I mean I can do female wear, all types of female wear, can do male stuff, all types, kids, anything that you can wear, I can make it. As long as I have the right fabrics, the right materials, everything at my disposal, I can make it. Even a design that has been made by someone else, I can replicate it. I'm not saying I'm the best. Yes, I believe I'm the best to myself, but I'm not intimidating anyone else, but I'm saying amongst the designer houses, in some most people are specialized. Most designers I know, and even the ones that I follow, they're specialized. Some are denim. Shout out to Rick Chasers. Some are specialized denim. Some are specialized on female wear. A lot of them are specialized
Well, that's where
on
the money
yes,
is.
but I'm saying
Yeah,
Winky D can't wear that.
yeah, true.
Ja Praiser can't wear that. Kofi Olomide didn't come here to wear that. So I stand out. My brand stands out because I can do for any kind of a celebrity or any kind of a person who wants my hands on their clothing.
So, Zimbabwe faces a complex clothing market. There's obviously pressure from imported new clothes. You know, we find them in all sorts of boutiques. And also, we have secondhand clothing coming through in bales of all sorts. As a local designer, what are the biggest challenges you face in this environment?
Uh, those challenges, so far, there are so many challenges, but the ones you're pointing out right now,
Are not.
they are, they aren't any of our concern at the moment. By this, I'm speaking on behalf of other designers out there. They know this because back in like 4 years ago, we suffered from runner clothes, from bales and whatnot. Yes, because people were not so much aware, or they were not yet valuing designer wear as they do now. And
Well,
I'm happy to be one of the pioneers of pushing designer wear to the people. One of the first celebrity fashion designers in the country that people started to look at a celebrity and say, okay, so if I get to dress like this, I'll be important. I'll be a different person. So let me start copying Winky T. Let me start copying Shashio. Let me start copying this person.
Well,
Yeah.
I also think, we tend to um, there's a tailor and then there's a designer.
Exactly.
And most of us don't know the difference,
Yes.
don't understand the difference, because we just put an umbrella over it and say kuti ma tailor, but there is a difference there
A very big
between a
one.
tailor and a designer.
Yes.
Can you help us?
Okay. Basically, tailors, they, three-quarters of them, they work in a chain. They do chain work. By chain work, I mean they work in an industry where you sit there, you just do overlocking. You sit there, you just put a collar on a shirt. You get a shirt without a collar, all you do is putting a collar on it. That's the best you can do on the whole shirt. There's someone who does hemming, there's someone who does ironing, there's someone who does like a small piece of the whole job, and they do bulk work. But if you tell that person, Kuti, can you make me a shirt? Their best work is on the collar. The rest, they've seen it being done. They have an idea of how it's done, but the perfection is not there because they spent their whole life putting a collar, so they perfected putting the collar. Then there are other tailors who who get a design, but they can't put it out as it is or make something that fits on someone because the creative aspect of fashion designing is not there. What's there is what they learned from school, that you thread a machine this way and you put a fabric, it moves this way, so when you step on the foot it goes grrr, the forward, and then you stop, you cut thread, you just put a piece of one on top of the other, and when you sew a straight line it'll be a seam. That's what they know. But how to really recreate a design from the picture to the measurements to the cutting board to the fabric, they can't do that because they didn't learn that. Because I'm sorry to say this, but most of the training centers we have, especially in this country, that are teaching kids fashion and designing, cutting and designing, they are doing like a quarter of the job. Us, the ones that are taking those attaches for attachment and the like, we are doing the rest of the work because they're being taught what doesn't work in the real world.
Our time at exactly 8 minutes to the hour 8. If you're just tuning in, we are ZiFM Stereo, and this is Backstage, and my name is Patience Musa. In the studio, I have designer JT. Now, congratulations, you've won some awards this year, and you've also been nominated for the Best Zikomo Africa Fashion Designer of the Year.
Thank you.
What do these awards mean to you?
These awards, they're a recognition of my hard work, and then my God-given talent, and I appreciate them so much, and they mean a lot to me in the sense that it's a constant reminder that when I feel like things are not going my way, I want to give up. This is a slow road for me to getting rich and the like. I then think, but wait, I've been recognized that I'm so good at this, and it means if I keep doing this, I will end up somewhere on the one of the big stages, because I've been to big stages of my level that others still wish to get on, and I'm so appreciative of that. So those are the things that keep me going and thinking that, but if I keep pushing, I can actually pursue more and grow bigger than I am right now.
So the awards not only validate your work, but they also challenge you to push even further.
Yes.
Nice. Now, when you look at your journey from teaching yourself to design to now being recognized on a continental stage, what goes through your mind?
The first thing is don't stop. I always tell myself that I shouldn't stop because I didn't know I would get here. it never crossed my mind that I'll be sitting here, right here with the Patience Musa, interviewing me for the second time this year. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know I would be someone, a celebrity fashion designer. I would be recognized in Africa, all the way in Tanzania. People are recognizing me for my work. The whole of Africa seeing my work. I didn't know that would happen. So I'm constantly reminded that I should keep pushing. I should keep going forward, because if I don't, no one else might get the opportunity that I'm getting.
Mm. Now, we have a lot of awards, and this currently is award season right now in the country. We have
Yes.
all sorts of awards popping up for all sorts of industries. But sometimes I ask myself this question. Um, how legit are these awards? Are these just money making projects for people, or are these do they really mean something? Are they worth something? So looking at these fashion awards in the industry, do they actually open doors? Are they opening doors? How do they help your brand?
I think just like I think it's the same thing with the whole situation runs behind perception, public perception. Back then, like 2 3 years ago, like I said before, people didn't care about designer clothing. They thought tailor-made stuff, bespoke stuff is uh, backwards, means you don't have money and the like. But now, every rich person doesn't go into the boutique to buy something
They
that's
want to be
they
unique.
go to the exclusive boutiques that we have, the few exclusive boutiques that they know if I buy something here, I won't find it anywhere
Anywhere else.
with anyone else. But now they opt to call, hi designer JT, hi designer so and so, hi designer so and so, can you make this for me? Because they've realized that world over, celebrities wear designer clothes. Gucci is designer, by the way. And the Gucci that you might see, a top celebrity, maybe Nicki Minaj wearing, you might never find it in the Gucci shop, because it was bespokely made for her. And if you check the price tag, you might see a couple thousands, hundreds of thousands on that piece. And if she auctions it, it might be bought for millions of dollars, because they're a brand. There's a difference between designer wear in the shop and designer wear specifically made for you. So
Now, with the Zikomo Africa Fashion Designer of the Year, you have been nominated. You haven't won yet. Uh, uh, what? How can we assist you to win?
okay, people can vote for me. Voting was opened a few days ago. People can go to zikomoawards.com, actually, zikomoawards.com. It's one word. And Zikomo is Zikomo awards.com. And select, they just register and select best Zikomo fashion designer of the year. Then they just go to my name and vote. Voting is done every single day until the 15th of December. The event is happening in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, on the 17th of December. So I hope to win against other designers from
What are
DRC,
you going to
whatever,
wear
whatever.
for the awards? Do you already know? Have you designed something
I
yet?
don't know, but I will know maybe 3 days before my flight. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's when I usually do my stuff. I don't do stuff and keep it there. I
Mm.
won't wear it if I do that, because the more I see it, it becomes
Okay, it
outdated
becomes
for me.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes old.
Oh, exactly. So yeah.
All right, so you heard it. Let's vote for designer JT. And to make it easier, I'm sure you have a link on your social media. What are your
Yes.
social media handles?
Okay. People can follow me on all social media platforms, it's at designer JT. The spelling is DeSiGnerJayTEE. That's designer with double I, designer, SIIGnerJayTEE, on X, on X, which is formerly Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. Then they can also follow me on Pinterest. It's the
Oh,
same handle. And some who want to contact me directly for business, they can contact me on 0774 695 337. Should I give?
again.
Okay. 0774 695 337.
Well, JT, thank you so much for sharing your story, your vision, and the heart behind your craft. Your journey is such a powerful reminder that talent, resilience, and passion can break through any barrier. And even in an industry as tough um, as competitive as fashion. And congratulations once more on your nomination for Best Zikomo Africa
Thank
Fashion
you.
Designer of the Year.
Thank
We
you.
are certainly rooting for you, and we can't wait to see SOG Clothing take its rightful place on the continental stage.
Okay.
So we'll be cheering you on.
By the way, this year I was also contacted by the Cabinet Summit Honorable Cabinet Summit Awards that happen every year. They contacted me and said I'm one of the honorable recipient of an award, and they're happening on next Saturday on the 22nd of November. So that's a win for me.
Well
That's an
done.
award that's coming my way.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. And so we continue supporting designer JT. Don't forget to vote away. And to you listening right now, let's continue to celebrate and uplift our own, because when one Zimbabwean rises, we all rise. Thank you so much for coming through, and all the best. We can't wait to see all the pictures. I'm certainly sure you're going to bag this one, but he
Mm.
needs us to do this. So let's vote away. My name is Patience Musa. This is Backstage Tuesdays from 7:30 through to 8 o'clock. And so join me next week, same time, right here on ZFM Stereo.